What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Al Wooten II, host, owner, founder of your new favorite brand and podcast for All Ballerz. Man, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to our very first episode. It means a lot to us. Before we get started, I really want to dive into what For All Ballerz is. For All Ballerz is a premium brand that believes in uplifting and uniting everybody that believes in and wants to achieve nothing but the best. And with that, we plan on helping you guys get there every step of the way by giving you that new game knowledge by people just like you, young people. And that's the whole point of this show, to help you get there by giving you that knowledge that you just can't receive on a day-to-day basis. And we're talking about collegiate athletes, professional athletes, people in the work field, you name it. Guys out there on their grind, on their daily purpose, working to achieve nothing but the best. Thank you. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to For All Ballerz. Today, we got a very special guest with us, Ty James.
Yeah, we piped up, yo.
we got the leading receiver in the nation, Mr. Ty James.
Yes, sir. Come on, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Give me some more.
For sure. Probably go down as one of the all-time leading receivers, all-time great receivers at Mercer University, man.
There we go.
For sure, man. Thank you for being on the show, bro.
Nah, but no problem, man. I'm happy to be here.
For sure, man. Been a long time coming, you know.
Yeah, I know I had to bail on you a couple weeks ago, but we good now.
Exactly,
we all
man.
locked in.
It's all good. It's better than what the first person did.
Man, we ain't even gonna speak on him.
Yeah, man. So, man, like, you know, we had a game last night. We played Gardner Webb. We dominated them boys, man. How you feeling after a dub like that, man?
But the thing for me, I love a dub, man. I don't care. Like, last night I had 0 catches. I could care less, bro. If that scoreboard got us winning, I'm turning the locker room. I'm turning on the bus ride. I was turning on the sidelines.
Right. Speaking to the mic, getting the mic a little more.
Oh, yeah.
You good. Yeah, man. I feel like last night was a very unselfish game for everybody, you know. I mean, seeing Devron go back home and turn up like that, man. Homecoming, bro. Homecoming for sure, man. Going back home for him. Everybody just getting lit every time my man turned up, man. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that goes to show the kind of person you are, you know, being the number one leading receiver in the nation and seeing your teammate that also plays wide receiver go home and do his thing. And every time you were celebrating right next with him, you know. So I just feel like that speaks volume on you as a person and as our team, you know, continues to evolve, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I be trying, like, my biggest thing for me is just make sure, like, everybody's enjoying playing, you know what I'm saying?
Got to.
As long as we're winning, because if we're winning, it's no reason, like, anybody on the team should be mad or sad or, like, upset that they didn't get the ball. Like, the score is 45 to 14?
45-14, bro.
Yeah, so, like, it's no reason to be going home,
at
like,
all.
upset. We just won. We just, like, blew them out. Like,
right.
So I'm cheering. And I told Deb before the game, I said, bro, I could not even score today. Now, I did want to have a catch. I'm not going to lie.
No cap.
I was like, bro, you could score every possession, and I swear I'll be just as happy, bro. I just wanted him to go off.
Right. Exactly. You got to a point. I was doing his touchdown celebration with him. I told him, boy, they got a picture of me on the Mercer page. I like, call God.
I see that. I heard you when you were saying that. I was turned, man. I was so first play of the game too.
Bro, what?
Yeah, that's man. What had me turned.
Exactly, bro. But man, let's get into it, bro. Ty James out of Conyers, Georgia, right?
Yes, sir. Straight out of Conyers.
Straight out of Conyers, bro. So I forget the name of your first high school. What was the first high school you went to?
First high school, Newton High School.
Not Newton. Newton. Yeah, I'm Memphis, Tennessee boy. I know you like joking around about that all the time. But I don't really know much about Newton, man. But out of Newton High School, I remember you told me that you played tight end at first, right?
Yeah, I did. I made the mistake of wearing a muscle shirt to tryouts. I kid you not. I wore a muscle shirt. Everybody else had on like these baggy T-shirts, and they just see me. They were like, "Oh yeah, he could play tight end for us."
Bro, man. Was that like? Was it a private school? Like, what was it?
Nah, so it was a public school, but the way we did tryouts was like the people who went to middle school in that area, like in Covington, they all had their tryouts already, and then it was for everybody else. So. And I mean, I guess in a public high school team, you can't really get cut unless you're like a distraction to the team or something. But the way we did it, I kind of tried out. It was probably only like 10 of us, 11 of us, because everybody else had already did theirs. Yeah. And I was out of county at the time, so I had to go do mine.
So you did yours. They had you at tight end. So you was in a 3-point stance.
3-point, yes, hand in the dirt.
How much did you weigh, bro?
Bro, I kid you not. if I had to guess, I'd probably say like 165, 170. But I was as tall as I am now at the time, which was 6'1", 6'2".
As a freshman, which is big, everybody looking at you
than
like,
everybody.
Right. Everybody ain't hit puberty yet.
Yeah, man. I was so upset. I can't even, man.
Right. So after your freshman year, transferring to Greater Atlanta Christian School, right?
Nah, I transferred after my sophomore year.
After your sophomore
year, I transferred. Yeah.
Okay. So how was that transition for you as a high schooler?
It was smooth, and the thing about the transition was I wasn't even looking at it as more of like I gotta go make new friends or something like that. And I know it's just high school, so you still supposed to have fun. But for me, it was like I just want to play ball somewhere, man.
What?
I just wanted to play ball. Like they moved me to tight end. I didn't play.
Right.
I felt like I could have played at receiver. Coach told me like if we put you at receiver, you're not gonna go D1. I'm trying to help you go D1. I'm like, yo, what? Like, how you gonna tell me about my skills? So that transition was smooth for me just because my only thought process was football. So we got there, and I just wanted to play ball. I wasn't even thinking about, like, oh, I got to make new friends and stuff. That's going to come naturally, especially with the team.
I swear.
Just being on the team, you're going to naturally make friends and all that. So I was good.
Right. So that's the same thing that happened to me my freshman year, right? I went to Christian Brothers High School in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, you transferred?
No, I didn't transfer.
Oh, right?
I ain't transferred, right? But what happened was I was like struggling from going to a public school, right? But then going to private school, like, so that was a real culture shock. But
boy, what that culture shock?
And then I went to all boys school too.
Yeah,
totally different, right? I'm talking about being in the locker room, dudes stripping down naked in front of you and stuff. I had never seen all that stuff before. But I mean, I was struggling with dealing with the guys and stuff like that. But a lot of them ended up being real cool with.
Yeah.
But my dad would tell me, I ain't send you there to make friends. I send you there to play ball.
Man, what? My folks would say the same thing. They ain't paying for that private school for no reason.
Exactly, man. They ain't paying for you to make friends, man.
Exactly, man. My folks say the same thing.
Right. So you went to GAC, breaking all the school records up there, right?
Yep. Literally all of them.
All of them, exactly. Three-star athlete coming out of high school, right?
Yep, 3-star athlete. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You had a few Division I offers, right? FCS.
Yeah, I think they was mostly FCS at the time. Yeah,
mostly FCS. Okay, so you had a few FCS offers, but you decided to bet on yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bet on yourself and walked on at UGA, University of Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm. Right up.
Star-studded class, right?
What? Stat. Man, we was stat.
Man, and I had a teammate in high school, pretty well, Bill Norton, that went over there.
The producer.
Exactly. The DJ. So I know it could be very challenging, going to a place like that. But what was your mindset, deciding to decline all those offers, full rides, right?
Yeah.
To
full rides, yeah.
Say, hey, I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm pay for another year to go to school.
Paid another year out of my parents' pocket.
Exactly. Yeah. So what was that like for you, that mindset you had?
I mean, for me, when I was coming out of high school, the thing people didn't tell me was that those offers aren't always going to be there. So, I chose to be a walk-on, and my mindset was, well, I'm going to go earn my position, and if for some reason I don't get that position, well, then, I'll just transfer out to one of these other schools or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But then I get there, I'm balling or whatever. I'm moving up the depth chart, and the biggest thing for me was just I've never played for a coach I have played for a coach that like didn't believe in me, but I've never wanted to play for a coach that didn't believe in me. So
yeah,
when I felt like they didn't believe in me anymore, that's when I decided to make my exit. And then the biggest thing right there, I decided to transfer. I hit the portal. I'm blowing coach's phone was up. I'm getting decline after decline. Man, we filled your spot, or man, we had to move on, or this and that. I was like, yo, what? I'm like, ain't nobody told me it was like this. I'm thinking I could just pick a school that already offered me.
Right.
Man,
everybody thinking this sweet,
What? Man.
The grass ain't always greener on the other side in that portal, man. I haven't been in the portal or nothing like that, but I know it gets real tough out there, man.
That portal ain't no joke, and there's so many people now too. Man, you competing with everybody.
Exactly. You jumped in when it was something fresh,
Yeah.
It wasn't everybody. You was like one of the test drivers of the transfer portal, right?
I didn't even know about it all too well. I figured that was something that had been around, but hey, I got blessed. I ain't gonna lie. Right. I got a bunch of homeboys that they ain't get the same treatment I got when they entered the portal.
So you entered the portal. What other schools hit you up besides Mercer?
Yeah, besides Mercer, I wanted to stay in Georgia, so I was declining a lot of schools like Coastal Carolina, West Florida, outside of Georgia. Let me think, who else? Oh, Akron, schools like that. I was declining because I wanted to stay in Georgia. I'm not sure why, but my biggest thing for me was like I wanted my folks to come see me and all that, and I do like going home, so I wanted to go home whenever. Like,
you don't really go home for real though.
I don't. That's the crazy part. When we got here, I think the thing that stopped me from going home, and I'm gonna get back to the question, but I think the thing that stopped me from going home was COVID, because when COVID happened, we got basically trapped on campus. Man, like everybody stuck in their
10
dorm
p.m.
rooms,
every night.
So I just got so used to it, and like I don't know, I was on the campus so much, it was to the point like going home wasn't even crossing my mind no more, because before I couldn't go home. So now that I can, in my head, I'm still like, hey, I'm just chill in the dorm room if I ain't got nothing to do, or go with some teammates or something. So that's why I started going home. But when I was making my decision to go to transfer, I decided to stay in Georgia. So the biggest offers I had, to answer your question, it was Mercer and it was Georgia Southern. Them was my final two.
Mercer and Georgia Southern. At that time they were kind of running that like wing T thing though.
Yeah,
right?
They had just decided to say, like, they had just hired the coach and they said they were going to switch their offense. They hadn't done it yet though, but they said they were going to switch it. And then Georgia State, they wanted me to play safety, so I wasn't even.
They were trying to get you to play safety?
Yeah, I wasn't even tripping off that. Ooh. I'm good right there.
So you come here, right?
Yeah, I get it.
And that was when we was really in that wing T. I'm talking about 3-point stance, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody in 3-point stance. Besides you, only one receiver, right?
Yeah, and that's what kind of attracted me too. Yeah, that one receiver.
But then, I could be wrong. Until Stevie Pete left, like you weren't even starting that first year, were you?
Nah, I didn't start at all.
Exactly.
I ain't started a single game.
Yeah, man. That's some interesting stuff.
A single game.
Yeah, Stevie P's still the boy, man. But that's crazy.
Yeah, we good. He still call me every now and then when we chop it up. But the thing for me was starting wasn't really no big deal to me, because I had just came off a whole year of not playing at all. Like I'm sitting on the sidelines with just a jersey. So as long as I could get in the game, I wasn't even, I wasn't tripping too hard off of not being the first one to go out. I'm still getting rotated in and all that, so I was cool.
For sure. That's the main thing. As long as you on that field, that's all that really matters, man.
100%. You just got to get on that field first. And then once you get on the field, it get easier and easier. That's how you end up starting.
Exactly. So now that you are the guy, right?
Right.
Exactly. You the guy now, right? You the man. You the big man on campus as far as wide receivers and stuff like that. Obviously, Devron doing this thing too. It's 100%. Like really y'all take turns. Y'all take turns every week on who goes off, right?
Yeah, we be joking about that all the time, but that's literally how it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So y'all be going back and forth every week, but you were at UGA, right? You're around like a lot of star-studded players like George Pickens, right?
Yep.
Who was doing this thing. Exactly. You're right there with him. Came into college with him, doing this thing in the NFL now, right? How do you battle the comparisons, right?
Yeah.
You see a guy like him. You're with you. Obviously, George is a very special player, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
You're a special player as well. Do you ever in your head be like, "Dang, I should be right where he's at right now"?
I don't. I did for a little bit, but I'm gonna tell you what kind of helped me get out of that like comparison thing. Like when you start comparing yourself, you start only taking away the negative factors. Like as soon as I realized I was comparing myself to George, I wasn't comparing it to the point where like, okay, well yeah, he's faster than me or he's bigger than me, but my routes are better or I get off the line better. You compare yourself and you only think negative. So in my head, all I'm thinking is, man, his hand's better than mine. He play more than me.
Yeah.
I'm not giving myself no credit whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of start realizing like, okay, like, yeah, we on the same team together, and yeah, he's doing better than me right now, but I had to kind of think of stuff to bring myself up. So maybe like, oh, he's getting more opportunities because he was a 5-star, I was a 3-star.
Yeah.
He's a scholarship guy, I'm a walk-on. He's getting opportunity, I'm not. If he get in trouble, what I'm saying? It ain't no real big deal. But if I get in trouble, man, I could get cut. Like, so I just had to realize, like, it's really no such thing as comparison in that aspect. Like, you literally can't compare yourself. All the time people say, like, comparison is the thief of joy. And, like, that's facts. As soon as you start comparing yourself, that's when you strip
or
yourself of
someone be like, oh, it's the fall of all mankind. Comparison is the fall of all mankind.
Yes,
I would hear all the time my freshman year.
Because once you start comparing yourself, you take away your confidence, man. That's how you lose that confidence.
Big time, bro. Because and it literally like tear you down, bro. Mentally,
bro, literally, man. Bro.
Like for me, I would see a guy I grew up with, Kenny Walker, right?
Yeah. Oh, you grew up with Kenny?
Yeah.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. Okay.
I be telling y'all this all the time, bro. Yeah, I grew up with Kenny.
Yeah, exactly. You good now.
Yeah, my dad coached me and Kenny in football and wrestling growing up. Kenny would come over and train and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I'm still good friends with his brother, D, and all those guys, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like the big bro. Like, both of them like my big brothers, man. So, growing up with a guy like Kenny, right?
Right.
Exactly. Basically seeing him evolve as a person, as an athlete, man. Always been a great dude, you know. And then to see him go in the second round and balling out, you know what I'm saying?
What? Balling.
Exactly. He breaking records at Wake Forest, and then he transferred to Michigan State.
Oh, he went to Wake Forest
first?
Yeah,
he went to Wake Forest first, bro.
Oh,
exactly.
I didn't know that.
Exactly. He went to Wake Forest first. And, you know, I don't know exactly the full story about, I know I guess some things was going on over there, so he ended up leaving, right?
Right, yeah.
But, you know, you see somebody that you grew up with, you be like, man, how do I get to where he's at, you know?
Exactly.
Because I've been, you know, my first year, 2 years of college, I was injured, you know? Wasn't getting touch the field too much, you know, had surgery and whatnot. So when I'm trying to get on the field, trying to fight back for a spot that I haven't really truly earned yet, especially after being somewhat highly recruited out of high school, it's like, dang, man. What am I doing wrong? You know, I'm trying to be as great as Kenny. I know
exactly how you was thinking.
Exactly, bro. So I feel like, but when I was overthinking things like that, it was just like me comparing myself to Kenny. That was just like the ultimate person I could bring up.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Because you knew him like the closest.
Exactly,
you had that personal relationship with him.
Exactly, he's at the highest level. You know, Doak, Walker Award winner, things like that, man. Like, you're gonna want to look up to him. I've always looked up to him as a person, as an athlete. So when you got somebody like that in your life, you be like, dang, man, what am I doing wrong? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, exactly. You know, obviously he has skill sets that are just some untouched. You know. Dude's crazy. He's a crazy athlete, man. But when you start comparing yourself to people like that, I feel like that's when you start taking the credit away from yourself as an athlete. And that's not just for athletes, right? That's just for anything you do in life. I feel like if you start comparing yourself to Lisa or Sharonda at work, you know, or Billy in the office, you know, when Billy got a promotion, oh, I should have got that promotion. I worked way harder than Billy. You're going to miss out on the other blessings God has in store for you, man.
Man, what? It'd be times where, like, I'll be at practice and, you know, all I got to relate to is sports, but I feel like that's the greatest metaphor somebody can have in life anyways.
Right.
But it'd be times at practice where I'm comparing myself to the point where I'm not even playing my own game no more. So, like, I'm lined up against, you know, a corner, let's say Tyson Campbell, right? Because I did scout team, so I was with, like, Tyson Campbell or Eric Stokes, lined up against him. And I'm thinking, like, oh, well, earlier in period 3, you know, I seen George do this type move, or I seen Tyler do this type move. So I'm like,
so it wasn't on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try this exact same move.
Yeah, the hand in your chest, huh?
Yeah, because that's not me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's take George, right? George he's like 6'4", 6'5", huge, rocked up. Like, he could come off the line and just kind of out physical you. But for me, my biggest thing was I was just quick off the line. So I would give you like a hezzy to the right or a hezzy to the left. So when now I'm looking at George and I'm like, this how it's working for him. I get out there, I try to shove Tyson to the ground, man. What?
He grabbed
me up by my jersey. Oh. I'm like, okay, clearly, like, that's what I was like. Clearly, I got to stick to my game. I'm clearly not strong enough or big enough to just muscle some of these huge dudes off the line. You know what I'm saying? That's when, like, that's how comparison hurts you too, man. Because once you start comparing yourself too much, you get to the point where you don't even become your own player. You want to be them. Like, it's okay to get to where they at, but at the end of the day, you got to be you as far as how you do it.
Well, so obviously you want to be your own athlete, right? Your own person, regardless of sports, business, school, whatever the case may be, right?
Facts.
But with you, who do you compare yourself to as an athlete? Like, who's the guy that you watch the most? Try to take things from their game. Who do you do that from?
The guy I watch the most has always been Keenan Allen, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah,
it's because, like, when you hear guys, it's more about just him. Obviously, his play style, like, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, but his routes and his releases, they're beautiful.
Right.
Like
his feet's crazy.
And that's how I feel like I am as a player. Like I feel like I make space. Like when people watch me, they always say like, man, he always end up open or something. It's not ending up open. I'm getting open. You know what I'm saying?
You got to get open, right?
So that's kind of how I felt. But at the same time, the reason I look up to, or like I compare myself to him the most is because when you look at these top receiver lists and all that, and like if you see a name like Keenan Allen, you're gonna be like, what? Keenan Allen? Like he not no top guy. He not this. He not that. Or, like, you going to get somebody who be like, oh, yeah, Keenan Allen, yo, he's pretty good or something like that. And it's like, he don't get the credit that he deserves.
Right. They be trying to disrespect, bro,
They be trying, yeah. So I feel like it's the same way for me. Like, I feel like I don't get the credit that I deserve. So, in that aspect, I feel like he got that same chip on my shoulder the same chip on his shoulder that I got on mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like just off the field, credit-wise, release-wise, whatever it is.
Right.
That's what like we got in common right there.
For sure. So what kind of work do you put in?
Yeah,
I feel like that's something that obviously as athletes, I was talking to Mike about this on the last show, whatever, or last episode. What kind of work do you put in to make sure your routes are crispy like this? Because I was talking to Fred about this like last week.
Yeah,
bro, your routes are night and day different.
Yeah,
since last year. Now, granted, you were nasty last year, bro, but when I watch you now in practice, I just be like, bro, I be like, did y'all see this? Like, this dude getting active, bro. And I love seeing that, man. Like, I love seeing how you've evolved and your confidence in the game has changed over these last 3 years of being with you, bro. So give the people a little insight on your work, bro.
Right.
You don't work at all. Maybe you don't work at all. I don't know.
Oh, nah, I gotta work. I don't want nobody to catch me, so I gotta work.
Right.
But I get a little inside scoop. The biggest thing that I did this offseason was just understanding the game of football. I feel like I'm not too sure as a running back. You know, you could probably speak to it. Well, you can speak to it better than I can. But as a receiver, you got to understand the game of football. So let's say I got like a simple post route or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to understand, is it a drop back? Is it play action? Because, you know, if it's drop back, I got to go. If it's play action, I got more time to work it and set it up and stuff like that. I got to understand how to read cover 2, cover 3, pre-snap. And then when they rotate, I got to understand what they rotate into. If it's a cover 6, you know, all this stuff sets up my route real different. Mm-hmm. So as far as last year, I didn't really know stuff like that. I just knew if he's pressed, I'm a inside release, and then I'm a hezzy at the top and just take off.
So what were you doing to help give you that advantage? Like, were you watching more like NFL films, or like what kind of different things were you doing?
Man, I was watching them little breakdowns. I give y'all a little. If y'all ever be on YouTube, I know everybody be on YouTube.
Yeah,
everybody be on YouTube. They do like these little inside the NFL breakdowns.
Yes, with like the players and I forget who the coach is, like Brian something.
I got no idea what the coach's name is.
Okay, yeah.
I just be looking at like I watched Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen did one, Hunter Renfrow did one. Like you get to sit there and these the highest paid guys.
Exactly,
Hunter
the top
Renfrow
dollar
just got that extension. So who am I to sit here and just be like, man, he don't know what he talking about. Clearly he do if he just got paid like that. You know, that's what I'm trying to get. So if I see him breaking down film and he telling me what's helping him, I know for a fact it's going to help me.
And see, that's what I was telling my running back coach, Coach Jones. I was telling him, we was talking about watching film. I was like, yeah, man, when I watch film, I just watch the way, you know, obviously the way they lined up, but I watch the way they tackle.
Yeah.
He's like, why you just watching the way they tackle? I'm like, well, shoot, Melvin Gordon do it. I was like, Coach, I got to set up the hurdle. He's like, man, you better keep your feet on the ground. Nah, granted, I ain't never really tried to hurdle nobody in college. Yeah. I did try it a couple times in high school, but that's things I look for. I like to see if the guy's like actually going to try to wrap me up or they try to ankle bite. You know, that sets up my game.
That's them tactics that'll help you. I didn't even like. I never even thought about tactics like that until I watched like Devontae Adams, and he would say like. He would break it down so far to the point he'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember this game versus this corner. I could tell, like, if he got his right foot up a little bit, he going to press with his outside hand and kind of shade inside or something like that. And I'm thinking, I'm like, press is press. What are you talking about?
But so do you feel like that's something that you've incorporated into your game now?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Sure. At practice is when I get to utilize it the most because those are guys you get the most reps with.
Right.
So I feel like at practice, that's when I get to really start studying them guys. And then once I get it down, like once I realize like how to start picking up on tendencies, then I take it to the film room and I watch film of other guys, and that's when I start realizing they tendencies too, and that's partially what makes my routes better. Just that alone, when you know how a guy is playing you, you know how you got to run your route.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the same thing like with me playing running back, right? You know, knowing how guys are going to tackle, you know, whether or not if I need to go ahead and just get that guy that 1-2, give him that opening hip stick. Or if I just, I see him, disrespect him, run through him, or I just know I'm going to run right by him, you know.
I told you run like you allergic to grass. I wasn't playing, bro. I was dead serious.
You got to, bro. You got to run angry, bro. And like, see, with me, I like to watch guys like Marshawn Lynch, you know, Leonard Fournette. Throwback.
I was watching Leonard Fournette. I didn't even mean that into watching it. I just seen a little clip and went and watched the whole video. I was watching him talk about how he used to practice at LSU.
Where you watch that at?
I watched on YouTube. They did like this little interview and he was in the butts.
Oh, the Bussin' with the Boys joint?
Yeah. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
With Taylor Lewin, I think.
Yeah. Yes, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And Will Compton. Yeah, I'll be watching them too. But yeah, I watch him and who else was it? Darius Geis. I don't know if you remember him.
From LSU?
Yeah, from LSU. That boy was nasty when he was at LSU.
What?
Talking about running angry. So I used to have a picture of him hung up in my locker in high school. So we used to have like a little manifest thing.
You know who I used to watch in high school? I used to watch a lot of Steve Smith.
Oh, bro.
Just
what?
that physicality and that dog. Man, that's what my dad used to
tell
me.
Man, what? Yeah.
You know, your dad, he going to be the most honest with you. Your dad, your mom, you know, just like that parent you got in the household, they going to be the most honest. So my dad would always tell me, he'd be like, man, yeah, you balling, Ty, but I still don't feel like you got that dog in you. I'm like,
right.
What? I'm like, Dad, I just had 162 touchdowns. What else dog you need? But then you go watch them guys, and like I even put ice up for everybody that don't know. That's what he used to always say.
Ice up, son.
I put that on the side of my cleats. Yeah. That was my saying like the whole year.
My freshman year of high school, everybody get mad at me. You know, obviously it's a culture shock, right? So I went to public school where we did nothing but talk crap to each other. You know what I'm saying? We checking each other every day.
That's built in me.
Exactly. So I'll go to the private school. Everybody wasn't used to the way I was, you know. What? So my first week there in the summer, we like having a summer camp or whatever. I was like, ice up, son. Ice up, son. Like I
like that.
Everybody be like, bro, what is he talking about, man? Dude, what are you talking about, bro? I'm ice up, son. And then I was just coming at these boys crazy, man.
That.
I used to love Steve Smith, man. And then
ice up, boy.
Exactly. And now I'll be at camp, I'll be yelling like DOG. Like that would be my thing. Like my dad would be like, you gotta have that DOG in you, son. You got that DOG. I'll be coming at them boys crazy, man.
They wouldn't say nothing bad, huh?
Yeah. Well, they did. They want to mess with me. Them boys ain't like me. Hey. I swear to high school teammates ain't like me, bro.
I know exactly how that. When I first got to, when I transferred to my private school, we were playing. I still remember we were playing Woodward. I ain't gonna say bro name.
Yeah.
But we was playing Woodward, and he was talking so much trash, and I love that. I love to talk trash. I always say on the field, I'm the wrong guy to talk trash to.
Yeah.
Like I say that all the time. But we was talking trash, and then I caught a little deep ball on him. And, like, before I scored, I turned around at the one and just yelled, I like, hey, son, you need to ice up. And then I walked in the end zone. Man, coach wasn't having it.
Your coach wasn't having it?
Yeah, my coach wasn't having that. I'm doing up-downs on the sideline. It's a 7-on-7. I'm doing up-downs on the sideline. And he's sitting there telling me, he's like, hey, remember, a lighthouse doesn't make noise, it just shines.
Man.
I said, come on, coach. I said, yeah, but you could hear a freight train coming a mile away. Like, I don't know, bro. I just always had something to say. Cause
that is hard, though. I never heard that. That's hard.
That's just my game, bro.
Right.
Like
but he gave you something right there, though.
Game.
He gave you something right there. I like that. Say that again. But you can hear a freight train coming a mile away. Man,
damn right.
You're right. I like that.
Yeah.
Man, but see, I remember somebody was talking about Nick Chubb, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, Nick, why don't you really celebrate or promote yourself like that? He was like, have you ever seen a Lamborghini commercial?
I seen that. I was like, oh. Hey, that was tough.
A Lamborghini commercial?
When he said that.
I swear to God, ever since they said that, bro, I've been looking all over the place for a Lamborghini commercial. You ain't never going to see one, bro. You ain't never going to see a Lamborghini commercial.
Bro, that joke was so crazy. I think somebody like tweeted it out or something. Somebody spoke about it on Twitter. I was like, yo, that junk hard. Like,
right.
So, hey, I ain't gonna lie. Some of these NFL guys, they be saying some hard quotes, man.
Right, man.
Some hard quotes.
So, bro, how do you bounce back from having a bad game? You know, I mean, like we said, I've said many times already.
Yeah.
top receiver in the nation, right? As far as receiving yards, right?
Right.
But every dog has a day, right?
Yeah, man. It's always gonna be something.
Players, like Coach Jones say, players F up.
100%.
How do you bounce back from that?
I think the biggest thing for me, and this is just speaking off the last time I've had a bad game, fortunately it's been a good little minute. But my last bad game, the biggest thing for me was just still having that trust from my teammates and coaches. But also you got to realize like what you're doing wrong. Because if let's say I have a game where I have like 4 drops or something, and I just go home like, man, that happened. I'm just get better next week.
Yeah.
Well, you're not really emphasizing what you got to fix. So, like for my bad game, I remember my bad game was over the shoulder catches, and we kind of spoke about it a little bit off the camera.
Right.
But my biggest thing was every time I get an over the shoulder ball, it's straight hands. If I use my body, it don't count. Straight hands, straight hands, straight hands. And then I'm going into that game. The next week, coach is telling me all week, he telling me like, hey man, we still going, like we having private meetings like, hey, I know you had a bad game, but don't think you're not a part of this offense no more or nothing like that. We still going to try to get you the ball. And I remember the first touchdown of the next game, over the shoulder ball, left shoulder, caught it in the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
And then I remember later in the game, I had another touchdown over the shoulder. And it's like, that's what you got to realize when you start working on that stuff. Like naturally, because I'm not even, before the bad game, I wasn't even thinking about over the shoulder balls.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about,
yeah,
I'm thinking about being a receiver. But then I put that emphasis on it, and you start realizing like, yo, I just scored 2 touchdowns off over the shoulder balls. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever you do bad in the game, like that's what you got to focus on fixing. You got to go out your way to fix that. And of course, you still got to do everything else that you always do. But like before, after practice, or like when you got a break or something, that's when you got to realize what you did wrong and put that work in to fix it.
No cap, bro. Like for me as a running back, right? Fumble, that's like a big no-no.
Fumble, that's the worst thing in the world.
Exactly, especially as a running back, man. So the whole week, I made sure I was emphasizing, that wrist lock position, not necessarily 2 hands on the ball, because that 2 hands on the ball probably be one of the worst things you could do.
I can't
as a runner. Exactly. So make sure I had the wrist lock. Coach Jones always teaches us, and make sure I emphasize that the whole week. And then whenever we're working on ball security, make sure people are make sure those guys are pushing me. I almost said something that it came off a little the wrong way. I had to make sure I said it the right way. That's why I had to just stop there and pause real quick. But yeah, make sure guys are pushing me to just basically be the best version of myself as a player, right?
Yeah.
Make sure we working on fine tuning those small things, So for you, right? What kind of small things do you do to help make sure you're being the best version of yourself? Is it going to extra treatment? I don't really see it in the training room like that.
Nah,
but is it extra treatment?
Like, I'm on that Chad Ochocinco method.
McDonald's just building that callus up.
Building that callus.
I swear, bro. That's why I ain't really got no massage this season, bro.
Bro, what? I just
let that body harden up.
Yes, just let that body naturally do what it do.
See, as a receiver, I feel like receivers get away with crap like that.
Oh yeah, well I'm not in there getting hit like y'all.
Exactly,
I'm not
bro.
Doing all that, so it's easy for me to say that.
Feel like I got out of a car accident every game, man. Even practice, I'd be like, woo.
Yeah, I feel perfect. We just had a game last night. I'm good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even be able to tell.
So I know earlier in the show we talked about being at UGA, right?
Yeah.
And now you at Mercer University. What are some of the I guess you could say the differences, but what are some of the things that you noticed were just completely different? Obviously, you got the food and things like that. You're probably not getting as much. Ain't no probably. You at UGA, you getting way more gear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, what are some things that you just completely had to adjust to, right? Being a transfer.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me realizing was just like outside of, the money stuff, like, obviously, you already said it. Like certain things we just can't do here that they do at UGA because we just don't got enough money. But as far as like the team and like players and stuff, I realized that when you at UGA, like those guys is working off the field, And this is no knock on our team, but it's not as many guys like at UGA because their third strings are 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? So. Right. Obviously, their third strings, like they're expecting to come in, make that difference and stuff like that. I feel like the biggest thing at the smaller level schools, or just like Mercer in general, is just not putting in that work when you got to put in the work when you don't see it pay off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not seeing that work paying off, that don't mean just stop. And I feel like that's the biggest thing for us. Like, I'll tell you a story. I remember on my official visit at UJ, and everybody know how official visits go. Like, you partying, you doing all that,
getting lit.
But it's 2 a.m. and it's a DB. He a recruit just like me. It's a DB, and he asking some of the top guys on the team, like, "Hey man, you could take me to the field and show me some of the drills y'all do?" I'm like, "Yo, he tripping. It's Saturday night. It's 2 a.m. What you want to go to the field for? Like, what do you want to get extra drills for?" Is he end up committing? Yeah, he ended up committing, and he balling over there. He balling right now. I ain't gonna lie.
He start?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how they do their little rotation, but some games he starts, some games he don't. Okay. But I'm like, yo, why do you want to do drills at 2 a.m.? You know what I'm saying?
Did he go do the drills?
Yeah, they took him. They showed him. Obviously, they wasn't trying to, but
right.
They took him. They weren't going full speed on them, but they was just showing like, this is what we do, like stuff like that. And I'm like, I realized when I got here, like, that's not normal. Like, everybody don't got that mindset. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta have that. Like we just said, that dog in you. Like, you gotta have that dog in you to keep yourself going.
Especially like the first, because we got here at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially like that first year, bro. Like, you had to be self-motivated, you know what I'm saying? Like, self-driven like crazy, man. Like,
them 3 weeks we was trapped in the dorm.
Trapped in the dorm. I'm in there and like I'm in prison, bro, doing my push-ups and sit-ups.
I had the little ladder. I'm doing ladder drills on the carpet. My feet hurting. I'm like, man,
doing the ladder drills. I'm over here lined up, like up against the wall, and like working on my footwork, like working on all my steps and things like that.
That's the best way to make sure you don't fall step. When I was trying to practice fall step, I used to just put my heel against the wall. You literally can't back up. Like, you can't step backwards. So that's
one thing too. Yeah, like putting a stick up under your feet or something like that, or a bottle up under your feet, man.
Yeah, you're gonna figure something out. It's always something.
So obviously, your time as an athlete, Division I athlete, has had many different experiences, a lot of trials and tribulations, ups and downs, right? Obviously, right now it may seem like you're at the top of your game, right?
Right.
I could be wrong.
Nah, this is the best I've ever been, for sure.
The best you ever been, for sure. You're at the top of your game, man. So with that, what kind of advice, or what would you advise young athletes wanting to be like Ty James, or even better, right?
Yeah.
That are not necessarily there at the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot to get to where you at.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they trying to find their way. They don't have all the answers. They may be trying to grind physically, but they may be mentally missing certain things, 100%. Which is okay,
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for me is like, if you looking up to somebody, or like, I'm gonna just give some people some advice. If you looking up to somebody, you gotta understand you only gonna see the highlights. They call it highlights for a reason. You're not gonna see all the down parts. Like, if I ain't come on the show and say it, like, people probably wouldn't even know that I was down so bad. I wasn't touching the field. I was a tight end, hand in dirt, stuff like that. Like, you gotta realize everybody has their own problems. And then the second biggest thing I would always say is just, you gotta keep that faith in yourself. It starts with yourself. Like, before you can remind, I think, I forgot bro's name, but I just seen on Instagram, and he was like, before you can remind somebody else who you are, you got to remind yourself. And it's like, if you don't, you don't realize, but I'm telling you, but these NFL dudes be having some good quotes.
So what position they play?
It was, I think his name Fred Taylor. You know what I'm talking about?
From on I Am Athlete?
Yeah.
Okay, Fred Taylor played for the Jaguars, played for Florida.
Yeah.
Running back. Yeah.
Him.
He need to be in the Hall of Fame. But
That's
I like
exactly
that, though. I didn't hear him say that, but I like that, though.
That's exactly what he said. And it's like, bro, it's so many quotes like that. I'm going to say one more. Did you see what Geno Smith said?
No, I did, but go ahead and say it, though.
That boy said, they tried to write me off. I ain't right back, though.
I ain't right back,
though. Hey, I heard that. I said, what? That's like the biggest thing. Like,
yes, bro.
Once you get down on yourself, man, people don't realize, like, it starts with you. So, like, if I'm lining up out there and I'm running around like, man, like, I know he about to line me up, or I just can't get off this corner, or like, I just can't catch this ball, then I can tell you one thing that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna catch that ball if I'm out there thinking like that. Like, I remember my 2 years ago, biggest thing for me, like coming across the middle, I couldn't catch nothing coming across the middle if it didn't hit my body. If it hit my hands, I promise you I wasn't catching it.
Yeah.
But now this year, I'm solid because I know I could catch it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a receiver. Like, I know I can catch the ball.
You just got to continue to build that confidence, man.
Yeah, that ball come, I'm like, oh, yeah, we locked in. We tapped in. And then, yeah, so that second thing would just be having that faith in yourself, not letting nobody take it away from you, because that's what people going to try to do. Because as soon as they take that faith away from you,
exactly,
they got you right where they want you.
So how do you block out the outside noise?
But for me, it starts with God. I'm not going to lie. Like, God, that's like my best friend. So, you know, if I'm having a conversation with God and he's sending me these reminders, letting me know that, hey, like, I put this in you, like, like I'm right here. I'm right here with you. If I got God with me, like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, I ain't tripping off you. Like,
I fear God.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that boy said. But and then just the second part too would be like, I've played, you know, at high levels before. Like in high school, like you said, I broke records in high school. I broke records here. So I know that I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's a shock to me. I've been playing ball since I was 6. I know I can play some ball now. Yeah. So it's like, if you try to take me down, or you trying to tear me down, like, you wasn't there the last 12 years of my life, the last 14 years of my life. I was. Yeah. Right. I've seen myself ball. I know what I can do. So if you don't think I can do it, watch. I'll show you. I ain't even got to tell you. I'll show you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a bunch of stuff, man. It's so real out here, and then just it's to the point where now it's like people are more focused on like tearing down their competition than just out competing them. Man, honestly, what? Like,
so how do you feel about that, man? I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they get caught up in the social media, right? Yep. They get caught up in, let's say with high schoolers, they get caught up in the offers, right? And the stars and being famous on TikTok and whatnot. Those things are cool, but I feel like when you start getting caught up in all that and then worrying about what other people got, nah, bro, you can't do that. There's enough food for everybody to eat, man.
What?
So why are you trying to tear down other people? Why are you trying to tear down the next man when they trying to eat just as much as you, bro?
It don't make no sense. And the thing I had to realize when I was in high school, and this go for anybody in high school right now too, the thing I had to realize when I was in high school was just that stuff switches up so much. Like, it's almost to the point it doesn't even matter. Like, obviously if you're a 5-star, you're gonna have offers, but it don't even matter to the point where, like, my junior year, I think I had a $196. A buck, that's 196 yards the whole year.
The whole
one
season?
touchdown. Whole year, yes.
Your senior year?
Yes. Senior year.
I'd have been sick.
So nobody talking to me. I don't got no coaches following me.
Right.
No people that do the rankings, no scouts talking to me, no interviews, no nothing. It's like I don't even exist as far as like the high school football world.
Yeah.
And then I come out in the scrimmage and I scored 3 touchdowns in one half. I'm like, okay, that's a good game. Like, I feel like this is going to be my year. But then I get on my phone at halftime. You know, sorry, coach, don't get on your phone at halftime. But I get on my phone at halftime and phone blowing up. Talking about, I knew this guy could do it. I knew he was bound for a breakout year. Then I check my phone at the end of the game. I'm a 3-star. What? Like, you ain't even follow me 10 seconds ago. Like, and when the first quarter started, you didn't even follow me. And now I'm a 3-star, man. Bro, come on.
And let me say something like this real quick. So I was at the barbershop, right? Shout out to Knox the Barber, man. So if y'all in the Macon area, go check out Knox the Barber out at BJ's, man. Sure. My barber Knox, man, he don't like being called a barber. Knox the surgeon. He
I like that.
Exactly. So man, be getting me right. Basically, we talk about stuff like this all the time, right?
Yeah.
And cause I was talking to him about how going into halftime during the Citadel game, like for first time ever, like obviously as an athlete, you know, you interact with a lot of different people that try to show you love. But a little kid, he's like 5 years old. He's like, number 5 is my favorite player. You know what I'm saying? You want me to dap him up? You know, all them little kids out there with their little jerseys on.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't never had nothing like that happen to me, you know. But that made me feel good. And I was talking to him about that. And basically, he was like, okay, so how'd that make you feel? I was like, yeah, man, that made me feel good. He's like, okay, well, let me tell you this. I was listening to TD Jakes, right? Mm-hmm. And he said he was walking down the street and somebody was talking to him about how God spoken he is, and how much they loved him, and how much of a man he is, and how much all these great things, right? He's like, he kept on walking, right?
Yeah. Like, just ignored him?
I don't know about ignored him.
Okay.
I'm just telling you how my barber put it to me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? He's like, he walked by him, right?
Okay.
And then he said that another person walked up to him and just speaking crazy to him, right? Just talking hatred, you know, talking about how, like, they don't really do nothing. He doesn't really do anything. This, that, and the other, right? I'm just paraphrasing the conversation, right? But he was basically telling the guy how, you know, what the difference was between those two. Like, and there really wasn't a difference. He walked by both of them, obviously.
Yeah.
And so the main thing was that regardless of whether somebody's bringing you up or bringing you down, right? Like somebody's showing you mad love or they're showing you hatred, you got to treat it the same way.
Yeah.
You can't let other people dictate your happiness. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Exactly. And when he said that to me, I was like, dang, like, you know, obviously, you know, people want to be shown love, but at the end of the day, you gotta be the person that you know, derives your own happiness, your own energy. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard,
exactly.
Man.
It is hard. It's hard.
I'll tell you one thing. When you get that down, man, you feel unstoppable, bro. You feel, because everything else is just noise. It's just noise. It don't affect
whether it's good or bad, man.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Right. Lamar Jackson. Remember he was going out. I think it was like 2 years, like his MVP season. So it was like 2 years ago. He was talking about at a press conference. He had a shirt that said, "Nobody cares. Work harder."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I tried to buy that shirt after I seen that.
You did, man. But
all of a sudden, all them shirts selling for like $200. What?
Yeah, get your money, Lamar. But basically, like that's the same mindset I feel like you gotta have if you want to be the best, whether or not, because everybody's showing you love. But then, you know, like that next year, they trying to hate on Lamar.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Very next year,
so
he ain't win playoff games. What?
Exactly, man. So you know how it is, bro. I just feel like as an athlete or any person that's trying to be the best version of themselves, they're trying to accomplish the best or just trying to reach high successes, right? Which is basically the whole point of For All Ballers, is to try to motivate and encourage, uplift, and unite those who trying to accomplish nothing but the best. When you're trying to reach that state, you can't let those outside noises affect you. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You can't let those outside noises affect you. So I feel like that's something that you've been able to show as an athlete, as a leader of our team, you know.
Took a while, man.
Right. Took a while.
But I will say I didn't have the same, you know, like now you got podcasts, a whole bunch of stuff, like the YouTube breakdowns, the interviews. Like, it's a lot of good wisdom out there that I either didn't have, or I'll be honest, maybe I just wasn't stressing enough to go look for it. Like, maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough. But take that stuff in, man. It's a lot out there that help you out.
Sure, man. Well, Ty, man, I appreciate you being on the show, bro. It's been great chopping up with you, talking about life, successes, ups and downs, bro.
Yeah, bro, this was smooth, man. I enjoyed this. I ain't gonna lie. When you texted me, I was a little nervous. I was like, man, I ain't too good at interviews. But nah, this is smooth.
Yeah, you killed it, bro. You killed it, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. We locked in.
All right, love you, bro. All
right, that's love. Love you too,
for
family.
Sure. All right, bro.